Hello and welcome. Today is June 1st. Man, I can't even believe it's June already. But my name is Sam, and you're watching Homeschool Connect Expo. This is going to be a live interview that we do from time to time when we have special events going on. And right now, in the month of June, we have our online learning fair going on at Homeschool Connect Expo. And so jump on. This is a great time to plan ahead for this coming next year. We have some new vendors, we have some new products, we have some exhibitors that have some all kinds of cool stuff that could really help you for your 21-22 season. So again, if you haven't yet, go to Facebook, like us there, all the housekeeping things, subscribe to the YouTube because we're going to be doing some more things on YouTube. But thank you so much for coming on. And if you're watching this live, you can ask a question that comes right into me and I will ask. But today, for the very first live interview that we have, I'm going to be speaking to Karen. She's with Adirondack, and she has a really cool system, the product that she's new with Homeschool Connect Expo. And she's going to share a little bit more about her and about her company and how to help our homeschool families. So let's bring her on and welcome her. So, hey, Karen, how are you doing today?
Hey, Sam, I'm great. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for being a part of this. Not only the Homeschool Connect Expo and our online learning fair, but for this live interview to let our people, our families, know more about you and your company. So, why don't you introduce yourself and introduce the company, and we'll get to know you a little bit more.
Great. I'm Karen Bartgis, and I am the Director of Education for Adirondack Learning Academy. And we are an online curriculum provider, for kids K through 12. So we do all the grade levels, and we provide your curriculum, learning coach, guidance on homeschool questions, forms, questions on what required for your state. Actually, we just provide you a full service product. So you get the curriculum and you get the services that you're looking for, like report cards and progress reports and, help for your student when they're struggling, that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, this seems to be very perfect timing for the amount of people who are looking to homeschool or just started homeschooling, or we're kind of doing emergency schooling and now they're going to go ahead and keep their kids in because you do everything K through 12, like you
K through
said.
12. Yep, we do everything. And it's funny that you talked about emergency schooling because that's really what it was, right? It was crisis schooling that parents were trying to do right during the pandemic. It was like, oh my God, my kids are home and I also have to work and I have to try to figure out how to get these kids through this grade level so that they can go on to the next. And some parents thrived. Some parents and kids just thrived in that environment, and they're all thinking, okay, this actually worked really well for us. Now I want to keep doing this. So how do I do that? Well, you come to someone like Adirondack Learning Academy and you say, I want to enroll my student, and we provide you with all the support you need so that you can still work when you need to as a parent, because everybody needs income, right? And your child still gets a quality education. And that's what the goal is to give you and your children a positive learning environment to get the education that they need.
Okay. I love that. And the curriculum has pretty much everything that the kid needs, right?
Everything. Yep. And there's no books involved. Okay. So there's no extra cost for purchasing books or supplemental information or supplemental books. I obviously, as an educator, I always recommend that a child is reading a book of some kind at all times. Just, it's good for them, right? We all know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
reading is the biggest way to success. So I always recommend that they have a book going, but other than that, all the rest of their curriculum is fully online.
Okay. And what I really love about the system is, luckily, I raised my kids mostly in Indiana,
Mhm.
which is pretty much, there's no rules, no regulations.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty simple.
It
The
is in
the
Indiana, but I'm in New York, right? So in New York, we are a highly regulated state. So this is a state where the parents need to send in a letter of intent to homeschool. They need to send in an individual home instruction plan, an IHIP it's called.
Okay.
And those are requirements for the ability to homeschool, and they have to be approved by their school district. And luckily we've never been turned down. Anytime anybody has ever submitted work or information from us, it's always been accepted, and it's been great, and it's helpful for those parents in highly regulated states. I mean, New York is just one of them, but there are,
Yeah.
there's a lot of them that require this information, and it's overwhelming for parents, especially new homeschool parents, to figure this all out. And so that's one of the services we provide, is we help you, here's what you need to say in your letter of intent to homeschool. Here's what you need to send for your IHAP, right? So we feed them what they need. They have to submit it, right?
Mhm.
But we feed it to them so that they know exactly what they need to send.
Man, that'd be a huge relief,
Yeah.
when because I mean, and every state's different, and so it's, with homeschool groups and everything else talking, you have to watch out for
And
every
every
state.
state's graduation requirements are a little bit different as
Yeah.
well. So, we go off whatever state that student is in. So it's not just New York, right? Or Florida, because we're based in Florida as well. We go off whatever state the student is in. So
Okay.
I have all the requirements for every state, and I go through and I make sure each kid has, if they're a high school student, they get what's called a degree plan, where I go through what they've gotten, what they've done so far, and what they need to complete in order to graduate. So then I go through a whole degree plan, and I make sure that, they're taking what they need to take each year so that they can graduate in on time or at the speed that they want. Some parents want to accelerate, some kids want to slow it down. They don't mind going an extra year or so because maybe they retain differently, maybe they've had some health issues, and so they're working at a slower pace. It's whatever the parent wants, but these are the guidelines.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and for everybody, there's links all over the YouTube and Facebook to go out to the exhibitor booth, and then once you see the exhibitor booth, there's videos and information and links out to the website.
Yeah.
Check out those videos. Because I was sitting there this morning watching the videos, and they have students, they have Karen on there as well too. And but one of the students that stood out, was a softball, a girl going playing softball, and being able to utilize your system, and how she's going to all these camps and going through all these travel clubs, and I've known a couple people in baseball and softball, and it is crazy schedules,
Yeah.
and it's really cool to see how she's able to take her love of softball and try to get into college softball and utilizing your system, so that way she's not as stressed. She's basically kind of going to college already. I mean, in the thought of how the system is
Because
lined up,
yeah, she's kind of
itself.
independently working, right? Kids
Yeah,
can work, they don't have to work, 8 to 3. They can
yeah,
work when they can fit it into their schedule. So whether you're elementary, middle school, or high school, you fit it into your schedule where you work best. So say you even have a little one, a first or a second grader, and they are not good in the morning, right? Some kids, not so
yeah.
much.
No,
So you start your school later in the day. There's no pressure to be on in the morning. You work when your kid works best.
yeah,
Not when the school says you have to work, right?
yeah.
When you feel like your student's going to work at their best. And that's when you do your work. And
Yeah.
sometimes you need to take a day off, and so you're doing it Saturday instead. That's fine. It's flexible that way.
Yeah, yeah, and this would have worked out beautifully for us because we had 3 kids, and they were really close in age, but they all excelled in different areas, but
Right.
we traveled all over the place. We utilized traveling, as a way to teach and learn, and so
Yep.
we would be there, wherever there is when we were learning about the Alamo, or we
Right.
were learning about, this or that, and we would be there and we could walk and talk and learn from people as well as the books, and we usually did like 4 days, and then Friday was always a field trip day,
Field
even if
trip
we were
day.
at
Yeah.
home, and
That's great.
so this would be perfect because the one thing that stuck out is the you call them the learning coach.
Mhm.
Having that freedom to have that learning coach with these kids at all times,
Yeah.
is huge help for parents and for the
Right.
kids.
Right.
So
Yeah,
what
they're
is that?
available.
What's the
They would either email or, instant message through the program, their learning coaches. I mean, obviously, they're not there 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
7 days a week, so but they always get back to the parent within 12 to 24 hours on any questions, or the student with whatever questions they might have. And the curriculum that we're using is called Acellus, and it's a top-rated curriculum that's out there right now, and it's leveled, so you have like a medium, a low, and a high. So depending on where you feel your student is, we can put them in any one of those levels.
Okay.
And the nice thing about the curriculum is that if your student's getting some stuff wrong, the program is smart enough to say, okay, well, they're missing this chunk of information that somewhere along the line, either they just didn't understand or maybe they didn't get it. And it takes it and it plunks it into their curriculum. So it gives it to them when they're missing it. So it's
Okay.
fabulous in that way. Like it's really been very helpful for the students that are using it. They're getting the background stuff that maybe they're missing so that they can move forward and be successful. So that part of the program has really been great for a lot of kids that have come to us. A lot of them that have come from public school and they've been pushed on, pushed on, pushed on, and they're missing stuff. They just
Mhm.
don't know. They don't understand. So thankfully, we have a program here that helps to fill those gaps.
Okay. Now the one thing I did see that caught my eye, is the on the website talking about the NCAA
Yep.
approved.
Yep.
The how does that work?
So to become NCAA approved, it's quite a long process. I think it took us about a year to get there. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of reviews and things that are done by the NCAA. So what it means is if you have an athlete, like for example, we have a couple of basketball teams that are with us, and when they're complete, when they enroll with us, we make sure they're enrolled in courses that the NCAA has already approved for us. So once they're in those classes and they've passed them, they're eligible for all those NCAA scholarships. You have to have an NCAA approved course as an athlete if you're going to be able to apply for those scholarships. Um, so if there's a student that's doing online classes and they don't know if it's an NCAA approved course, they need to find that out. Like it's a very important thing for your student athletes. If they're going to try for scholarships, they need to have those NCAA approved classes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
big deal. Yeah,
I mean, that's huge. I mean,
yeah,
that's I didn't know that, and
yep.
then two, to have that ability, I'm just running through my brain of just like how many people that could utilize the service. I mean, this is
Yeah.
huge on there. Now, we have to talk about, fees. The
Mhm.
I'm sure it's per child,
It is
correct?
per child. Yep,
Okay.
yep. There's a licensing fee that that pays for the Acellus license, and then the program fees pay for the remainder services that you're receiving. So any of the grading, the help with your IHIPs and your report cards and your progress reports, and any other guidance and questions from your learning coach, all that stuff is what's included in your program fees, and all
Okay.
that's on the website too. It's clearly laid out.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. And I would just, let everybody know, make sure you go out to, like I said, out to the link out to the booth, and that way you get to see some information about uh, everything that they
Adirondack Learning
provide.
Academy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adirondack Learning Academy provides and then if you keep scrolling down there's the videos that I was talking about, and then also out to their website that has all the information out there of all the fees and more about the curriculum and more about how everything else works on there.
Yep, and
Um,
we are a rolling enrollment, so students can enroll at any time. So
okay.
generally speaking, we go July to June. So say you wanted to do credit recovery because maybe little Sammy didn't do well in English 1 and now you want him to redo that before he goes into his sophomore year, you can do that and then start your sophomore classes or whatever at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the reach out and contact Karen or anyone there at Adirondack the about any questions that you do have that we might not have covered. We're kind of going through and talking, kind of on an overview of everything. But make sure you reach out, and there's a contact form on the booth, or go out to the website, and make sure you ask the questions. I mean, this is a really cool system for anybody that's new, might be, that's been homeschooling for a while, but now have a new job situation.
Right.
People are
Yeah,
going back into the workforce, more, this year after being staying at home, and things are going to be a little different
it
from
is.
schooling.
It is. And the other, so on my expo booth, there's also a link to a speaker, and I have a
Yeah.
whole little thing there for you for homeschooling in the digital world. So that takes you through everything that you need to know to homeschool in the digital world. So if you're interested in hearing more about just, I don't know what to do for, homeschooling in this world right now, and this little expo, this little workshop I have for you, it takes you step by step through the process of what you need to know for that. Like, what does it mean to be in a public online school? What's a private online school? What's a curriculum provider? What types of curriculum providers are there? Like, all that information that is going to make your head spin, it's all there. There's also a little book you can download, and you can take notes and ask questions, and then you can email me and I can answer your questions for you.
That's great. I mean, that's huge, because I mean that things are changing and things have changed in the last year.
Yep.
Just in the last year, things have really changed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Tremendously.
verbiage and what and how and I think it's really key to know that no matter what your circumstances, is or are, that homeschooling is a great choice, especially for a lot of kids. A lot of kids have come home from school, and once they started homeschooling or emergency schooling, they just started to shine. And this is a great way to keep that going, no matter what your circumstances are, and because it will be. I mean, to be able to have that independent study, to be able to go through the curriculum, have that learning coach, it's there all to help you, to keep, your child going and growing. And, I just love what you're doing, because it's going to be helping so many people, thrive in that homeschooling relationship, and take some of that burden off of them,
Exactly.
that's
That's the
there.
goal. We want families to thrive. We want them to be well educated, and we want them to still have the time with their families and be happy homeschool families. That's what we want.
Yeah, awesome. The Before we go, thank you so much for your time and what you do. This is an amazing program So everybody go out and check it out. But I know, asked a few questions. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, or anything you want to bring up before we go that I might not have been able to bring up?
To cover. I think honestly we hit on a lot. You know, the students that are NCAA, that's important that they make sure that they're in NCAA courses and to know that we offer those for them. The degree plans that we do for students and the transcripts and report cards and progress reports, we really do a lot to help families. So just check us out and know that we are rolling enrollment and we're here to help you. Call us, email us, go to our website where there's a ton of information for you, and let us know what we can do.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much, Karen. And everybody go out, click the links, go out and really check them out. It's such a cool program that they have, and it will help you um, and help out with the family homeschooling. So, all right. Hey, appreciate it. And we will see everybody else later on this whole month of June. We're going to be speaking for our online learning fair. So take care, and we'll see you soon.
Great. Thanks.